mentally active. That's good type of phase. That's a good one. I think that makes two of us that are mentally active. Have a great day. Thank you for telling us what's going on, and we'll see you tomorrow. Good luck with the appointment. Good morning, you wonderful humans. We are back, and today is day, 68 or something? I don't know. It's the beginning of week 21, and we are back at it. This is Connected Community Health Support. My name is Seth Spicer, and this is our free, virtual, full-body aerobic exercise workout stream. Again, you can, as we always say, you can do it completely anonymously. You don't need any equipment to join. And this is for anybody who might feel uncomfortable going to a gym. Now, a lot of people out there, I just want to touch on a quick thing. A lot of people out there might think that we are telling everybody that they need to lose weight or that they need to live a certain way, but that is absolutely not the case. This stream, everything that we are doing at CCHS is completely for those that want to lose weight. All right. I think there's a key differentiator. The first question we have to ask anybody, the first question that we do ask anybody is, hey, do you want help changing your life? And do you want our assistance in losing weight? If that is the case, then we are for you. Then we are here to overcome all the barriers to exercise that lead to difficulties in losing weight. And with that said, we have provided this stream as a means to that end. So we do this to make health and fitness more accessible. We do it Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday at 7:30 a.m. on Monday, noon on Tuesday, 5:30 p.m. on Thursday, and back to the morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern time on Friday. I do this with Jacob Carroll and Adam Fox. We're all coming together for Connected Community Health Support with our friend Rashid Abumale on the back end doing some important stuff as well. This is going to be about a 40-minute workout today. This workout is going to be 8 exercises for 3 sets, 45 seconds of work to 45 seconds of rest. And it's a pretty low to moderate intensity, right? It's perfect for anybody who's trying to burn fat. It's designed specifically to burn fat. So I hope that you can get on board that. And if that is something that you are looking forward to, which a lot of people are, a lot of people watch it on the replay, which we post at Connected CHS on YouTube and run pretty much all day on Twitch, feel free to give us a follow on whatever platform you are watching from. And know that the reminders that we send out when it says playing on Twitch or showing on Facebook, take that, as we always say, as a reminder to be mindful of your health. Because if you got that notification 10 times a day and every single time you said, I'm going to take a second, think about where my mind is at, think about my actions that I've taken so far in my day, think about my goal. Over the course of a day, over many days, that can become a very powerful reinforcer for change. So give us a follow. I hope you like that and can think of that and frame those reminders, those streaming alerts in that sense. And with that said, we're about to get started. One last thing. This is a very individualizable and very safe program. But with that said, please talk to a physician before beginning any exercise program. Just a little safety thing there to make sure that it's right for you. All right. With that said, we'll get started. Started with a warm-up. Not forgetting anything? I don't think so. Grab your coffee, clear your space, we are ready to get started. I'm going to go full screen here. Yeah. All right. Cool. So what you're going to do is, per usual, we're starting from the top, going down to the bottom. Just kidding. That's reverse of what we usually do. But we're going to spice it up today. Start with some good old-fashioned neck circles. Everybody could use a couple good neck circles. Nice and slow. Again, I say this often, that this is usually a good time when you're working out with me. But if you want to have an even better time, feel free to go over to connectedchs.com and check out our community groups. We have a general group right now, and we have a local group at Saratoga Springs area. There you can share your weight loss story. You can support other people in theirs. Maybe share recipes, whatever works for you. Again, just a great place of support to join our community, really. I'm going to change the caption really quick. Go ahead and carry on. Keep doing some, a little neck circle action if you need to, a little side to side, maybe a little down and back. We are in the week 21 routine. I'm just going to show that there. And we're back to full screen. All right, next up, we're going down to our shoulders. Nice and slow, just do some big stretch shoulder circles. There we go. Other direction. Hope you've all had a wonderful weekend. Hope you've made healthy choices, or at least had a lot of fun in the bad ones. I managed to get out and go for a little bit of a walk myself a couple times, so that was nice. All right, I'm going to do a couple swings for myself, but again, you do what feels good for you. All exercise should be what's good for you. That's why I didn't eat Brussels sprouts for the first 24 years of my life. Now I do, because I found a good way to prepare them, but that's besides the point. All right, next up, we're going to our T-spine rotations. That's our upper back, and our upper back should rotate. It feels good to rotate like a potate. So starting here, breathe in, breathe out, and rotate the upper body, leaving our hips facing forward. Breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, rotate to the other side. Breathe in, back to center. And again, you can put your hands right in front of yourself. You can put your hands by your side and then try to rotate in that sense. The other thing we can do, another tool in your tool belt, if you will, there, Bob the Builder. You can go on your hands and knees. You take the right hand, reach underneath your left side, across, and then reach back up to the right sky. And we can repeat that on each side. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. A couple more. Wow, my right side is always locked up. You'd think I'd get better at that by now. But here we are. And after this, we're going to move to our hips. I'm going to turn up my brightness. There we go. All right, now we're moving up to the hips. We can do some leg swings. We can do some hacky sack skips. And we can do some step overs and close the gates. Whatever works best for you. But right now, what we are going to do is just some simple swing the legs if you'd like to follow along with me. Forward and back. 7 to 10 each side. And again, you can do whatever works best to warm up at your hips, but this is what works best for me. Other side, 7 to 10. Of course, hold on to something if you like. I'd recommend that, actually. If you have any questions for me, if you have any questions for Connected Community Health Support as a whole, what we are all about, feel free to shoot a comment into the chat over there, and I'd love to answer it live right now. All right, I'm gonna go across the body with the leg swings. Woo. These ones are a little harder to keep your balance. If you have a chair that you can hold on to, that usually works pretty well. All right, switch sides. Unfortunately, Happy Face had to dip today. But she is a complete regular. Again, that's just another example, though, of how you can follow along to this workout routine and be completely anonymous. Again, Happy Face Candle is obviously not somebody's real name, but that way you can interact with everybody on the community using an alias, using whatever stream name you have, and nobody would be any wiser that you were joining it. I know a lot of times there are psychological barriers to exercise as well. Especially if you aren't in the gym being super fit, lifting heavy weights, right? So with that said, I think that's another great opportunity for a lot of people to join. Nobody even has to know that you're working out, because I know there's a lot of stigma around getting started originally. And of course, we're designed at Connected Community Health Support to be absolutely absent of any of that stuff, right? Very friendly, here to really support and care for people on their weight loss journey without any of that judgment that comes along pretty often. All right, very cool. Do a couple seconds, get some ankle circles in there each side. One quick last thing on what I was just saying. If that is something that you agree with, if that aligns with your values, if you think that that is something that the fitness/wellness industry is missing as a stigma-free approach to weight loss, feel free to give us a follow, like what we're doing on any platform, Connected CHS. And that would be the best thing that you can do to help us or get involved. It's just be active on our group channels, reach out to us, give us feedback, that kind of thing. Just be involved, and we would really appreciate that. And every person that joins the community group, for example, makes our support that much stronger for those that have already joined. So awesome. Good morning from Jameson and I. Good morning, Kelsey Spicer. That's an example of somebody who's joining and supporting without being completely anonymous. That's my sister and nephew right there. So good morning, you wonderful humans. Glad you could be in the chat. Kelsey, if you have any questions throughout the course of this stream, feel free to shoot them into the chat on the side there. And I would be more than happy to answer them absolutely live per usual. All right. With that said, we are about to get started with our exercise routine this morning. I'm going to make like Jameson King Cannon over there, making his own exercise videos now. Shout out nephew in the room, whenever he got that from. So next up, we're going to start at the beginning of the workout routine with floor touches or glute bridges, and then move on to the remaining 7 exercises, which I will explain. Again, 45 seconds of work, 45 seconds of rest. By the end, I'm going to be absolutely dusted because I've been a little lazier in my routine than I should have been, where you guys are probably being consistent with this program 4 times a week like we're doing. I digress. We're getting started in 10 seconds. Timer, countdown is beginning. 3, 2, 1. Starting with floor touches, nice and slow at first to get the warm up in. From the side, looks like this. Push the butt back, stand up, push the hands down the thighs, nice flat back, stand up. Then eventually, if you can, touch the floor, and that will be a good place to start with our deadlifts, our floor touches. If you prefer a nice glute bridge from the floor, that is more anti-gravity, gravity resistant, as they say. So you might get a little more glute work. However, this is also a good exercise. And time, we are done with number 1. We are now on our way. We've started the workout. No going back now. What we have next after floor touches are toe touch flies from the bent over position. Oh, you might be wondering, why we're 45-45 again in terms of work to rest. And that is because with this program, it's using progressive overload. All right, what that means is it gets slowly harder and harder over time. But to recover, we also have deload weeks. This is a deload week. All right, so it's going to be a little easier. Toe touch flies. We're in the bent over position, forearms on the thighs. Reach the opposite toe. Perform a single arm fly. All right, ready, set, begin. Toe, fly, toe, fly. Toe fly, don't bother me. Toe fly. If you want, you can do a little double action. Reach across, fly. Reach across, fly. All right. Left hand is the one not going high. There we go. Reach, fly, reach, fly. If you want to do it one arm at a time, you can put a forearm on the thigh. Fly, fly, switch, fly, fly. All right. 3, 2, 1, and time with that exercise. Next up, we're going to the pull to press. Little toast you hear this morning. We're on half electric. AC isn't working because the flooding short-circuited half of the breakers in this house. However, we have one light and the blue light working for some reason, so we're still able to get the stream on this Monday morning. So we're going to our pull to press. It's a D2 pattern. Really, it's like you're desheathing the sword and pointing up to the sky like you are Xavier or Jon Snow. Starting in 3, 2, 1. You can do it one arm at a time if you like, or both at the same time. I prefer the double D2 movement pattern. Doing doubles at the same time is what I mean by that. I think this is a great way to work your posterior delts. Really, there's a lot more than that. Really, it's external rotation, extension, abduction. Really moving your shoulder in the best way possible, if you ask me. 4, 3, 2, 1, and time with that exercise. Already feeling swole this morning. If you ever have any questions for me at any point, feel free to reach out to us as well at connectedchs30@gmail.com. That's connectedchs30@gmail.com. I myself have a bachelor's degree in athletic training, master's in exercise science, and a whole lot of experience in the exercise science and sports performance realm. Jacob Carroll, Adam Fox also have tons and tons of knowledge. So feel free, shoot us out a question there, or just follow and subscribe to us and get those reminders that pop up often, and come into the chat one of these times and ask any questions you have at any point. Cool. Next up, we have our knee to elbow dance, our little jig. We're keeping it simple this week. Just cross body each time, starting in 3, 2, 1, ready, go. Right to left, left to right. And just don't be too rigid about it today, you know? Just go a little opposite action. Just feel your body moving for once. You don't have to get them all the way up to touch like I'm doing, but just getting it moving to feel good. Push the elbows and knees forward. That usually helps me feel it better. Just kind of feels like I'm going for a nice jive. A little move around. And time with that exercise. It's called the knee to elbow, but really it is the best dance move of our generation. Fantastic. Next up, we're going to be doing squats. Go ahead and get mentally prepared for that. Take a water break if you need to. I've got my water and my other water. And my Buffalo Bills koozie that likes to fall. Go Bills. That is not associated with Connected Community Health Support in any way. That's just me. Go Bills. So next up, we have squats or lateral squats. Of course, lateral squats are here. If you're not comfortable with that, feel free just to do a normal squat. 3, 2, 1, begin. I'm doing a lateral squat. In this case, where you're just reaching out to the side, pushing your butt back like you're sitting in a chair, or a normal squat. You can just go as low as you feel comfortable with 2 legs. All right. I'm going to go back to the lateral squat because that's what feels good for me. All right. Keep it working. 10 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and time with that exercise. And now you'll notice again, we provided a couple of different variations of that squat pattern. Squat is one of the big 7 that we try and incorporate in every one of our workouts to make them full body. But again, we provide variations because health and fitness should be accessible. In order to make it accessible, we need variations that everybody feels comfortable with. And through those variations, we can make sure that everybody still gets a great workout. So again, that just aligns with our mission. Everything we do is in efforts to make sure that health and fitness is more accessible and that we break down the barriers to your health goals. Again, if you like that, feel free to give us a follow, give us a like, get on board with all these videos. Next up, we have push-ups from the floor, from the wall, from the couch, starting in 3, 2, 1, begin. From the door, you just get a good push-up from the door. If you'd like something a little more complicated, a little more difficult for 45 seconds, of course, you can do a push-up from the floor. You can do it from the counter. You can do it from pretty much anywhere, desk. Just know that the lower you go, the harder it gets. You want to be able to sustain it for 45 seconds. Keep it going. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time with that exercise. We want to be able to maintain any exercise that we do choose for the entirety of the time. That will allow us to get the ideal fat burn. And again, you should be able to hold a conversation with me as if I was there in person the entire time as well. That's how we know that you are an optimal fat max. It might be a bit of a labored conversation, but nonetheless, we're still able to, hold a conversation like that. All right. Next up, after push-ups, we have our alternating shoulder extension. You can do this in a chair or in a bent over position. And what that looks like, I'll go here. It's just forward and back arm swings like you're sprinting. All right. Starting in 3, 2, 1, ready, begin. Here we are alternating to either side. If you want, you can do pulses to make it more difficult. Working to the edges of that range of motion. Start to get tired, you can put your forearms on your knees, one arm at a time for 3, 1, 2, 3, switch, 1, 2, 3, switch. Again, this should help if your legs get tired, if you get a little low back action, you can do that. A little bit low back uncomfortability, you can do that. Time with that exercise. If you like what you're doing, but say, hey, I might like a little more personalized virtual, like one-on-one, I'd like you to do an assessment, really get to know me, be able to see me move as well. If you're of that train of thought, well, we do stupid cheap virtual personal training as well. Again, in our effort to make health and fitness more accessible, like a third, if not a fourth or more, maybe a fifth sometimes, depending on who's selling it, of the normal price of virtual personal training. So feel free to check that out at connectedchs.com. Next up, we have the inchworm. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Join me. Take your hands, touch them to your toes, walk it out, and do a tall plank position, and then proceed to walk it on back. We're just repeating that process a few more times. Walk it out. Tall plank position. And return it up to center. Stand up. Do that a couple more times. Again, we go for time not for reps, so that it's completely individualizable to each person. I'm going to get one more in here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In time. We're now going back to the top of the order. Again, the order is present right here. Well, right here. Thanks to our feedback from our lovely, wonderful humans that join us on the regular. All right. And if we're going back to the top, I'm going to do glute bridges this time instead of floor touches. That's a little insider trait. Insider secret. All right. Wonderful. All right, we have about 10 seconds left until we get started. Again, floor touches or a glute bridge. Here we are. Wonderful. 7, 6. Get mentally prepared for it. 3, 2, 1. Ready. Begin. 45 seconds worth of floor touches or glute bridges, like so. And now I know for a lot of people, going to the gym can be a major barrier. That's honestly always the hardest part and the most frustrating part for me is when I want to exercise. I need to build up the reserves to just step out the door. The rest is easy. 10 more seconds. I don't know, a lot of people probably agree with that one. 3, 2, 1, in time with the hinge exercise. There's hair everywhere. But because stepping out the door is usually the hardest part, the people, us three at Connected Community Health Support said, hey, what if we just brought the trainer and the weights to you? Didn't think about that before. So if that's something that you'd be interested in, again, stupid cheap compared to personal training prices, shows up at your doorstep to guarantee your consistency and exercise. Hard not to go to the gym when the gym comes to you. All right. And you can just schedule your session. It's super quick, super easy. ConnectedCHS.com in-home personal training. 4, 3, toe touch, flies, starting in 3, 2, 1. Toe touch flies, reach to the opposite toe and fly. Opposite toe and fly. Opposite toe, fly. Opposite toe, fly. And I like to put my forearm on my knee of the arm that I'm not using. To get a little more rest for the legs in here on this one. I'm going to do a little pulse action, as you can see. 1, 2, 1, 2. Just to get a little more work in the top range for my back. And time with that exercise. Fan-diddly-tastic. Moving on, we're going to have our D2 movement pattern. You can call it a pull to press. Get your water. Wunderbar. All right. Next up, now that we're feeling wonderful, now that we're feeling the fat just melt away from our bodies, we're feeling good about our progress. Our whole body is feeling strong. We're envisioning ourselves reaching our goals. Just kidding. That's positive mental imagery, and this is Fitness Week, not Mindset Week. So we'll touch on that a little bit later. D2 movement pattern with me in 3, 2, 1, begin. Draw the sword, point it to the sky. Each week, we have a different focus here at Connected Community Health Support. The focuses are built around our 7 pillars. Our 7 pillars are fitness, nutrition, sleep, mindset, social, environmental, personal finance, and policy change. And each week we hammer home a different part of those with our tidbits at the end. So if you're here right now and you're getting tired, stick around until the end just for those tidbits. I honestly think that is the best and most valuable part of this entire program. Time with the D2 movement pattern. There's another tool for your tool belt. And again, the tidbits are also tools in your tool belt, because it's not just about fitness and it's not just about nutrition. It's about the people and mindsets that you are in that allow you to complement those things, that allow you to be consistent and force time and support you in your journey, right? So we cover those things as well, because frankly, they are crucially important and very overlooked when it comes to creating sustainable change. All right. All of those pillars are covered in our health coaching as well. That is stupid cheap online. If you really want one-on-one comprehensive, basically health and wellness coverage. And I do that myself as well. Cool. Next up, we have our little dance, our little jig. We have knee to elbows, starting in 3, 2, 1. Begin right now. Opposite knee to opposite elbow. Opposite knee to opposite elbow. If you want to get it going real fast, don't, because that's just too much. You're going to start going into what's called glycolysis, which means the amount of energy that you need exceeds that used creatable by the mitochondria, at which point you'll start getting that burn going on. You'll start getting tired. You'll never want to see my face again. And that's not what we want here. We want sustained progress. Pound a week. 3, 2, 1. And time with that exercise. Great. Next up, after our little jig, our little knee to elbow press, we have our squats again. These ones recruit the most muscle out of any other exercise. And I would say that these are probably the best ones to get your heart rate elevated. And they can also be the most difficult for all those of us that might, have achy joints or might have a little bit extra weight to lose. So go to a depth that feels good for you. Starting in 3, 2, 1, begin. Here we are, squats. If you have bad knees, this might be as far as you're getting. If you have a little bit of extra weight to lose yourself, good. It means you've come to the right place. In that case, maybe push the butt back a little more, because generally when you gain weight, it pulls you more anteriorly, which puts you more forward on the knees, which often results in a lot of extra knee pain. So in that case, think about putting a little more weight on the heels with the squats, which turns into more of a hinge, which is true movement-wise. But again, we're adapting, right? We're making it adjustable and individualizable to our populations. Time with that exercise. All right. We're already halfway through, guys. Stay with me. If you're getting tired, take the intensity down. Don't quit. All right. If you get tired, take the intensity down. Don't quit. All right. Next up, we have push-ups. Push-ups you can do from the wall. And find a stud if you can, aside from me. Find a couch. Your good friend Coucho here will always support you in your weight loss goals, even if it's just your body weight. You can do a push-up from there. Same thing as if it were a counter or a desktop as well. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Push-ups. As Jameson would say, it's push-up time. Just push the floor away from you. That's all you're thinking about. Start to get tired. Slow down the tempo, like so. You don't need to crank them out. You really don't. You just need to be able to go full range of motion for the full time. That might be the door. That might be the couch. That might be the floor. Time with that exercise. Fantastic. All right, after our push-ups, we have our alternating shoulder extensions again. I love that. If you're just tuning in and you're watching me suffer, you can watch me suffer live 4 times a week. And join me while I do it. Feel free to give us a follow. Use the notifications to remind yourself to be healthy throughout the day, to make good health choices. Really powerful. Again, highly recommend it if you're watching this on replay. Next up, we have our alternating shoulder extensions. You can do this from your knees as well, or seated. It looks like this. Ready, set, begin. We're here, alternating, swinging forward and back. For those of us that are in the bent over position, I'll stand up. Remember the pulses we did earlier? Well, we can do those again. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and that gets you a little bit extra if you're looking for a little bit more of a workout. To the center, push, to the center, push. And that's what we're looking for. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. Wonderful. I need to heed my own advice and take it down a notch with the intensity because my heart rate is a little elevated. Quick life hack on palm facing forward on the outside. You can take your pulse, and if you just hold that and count how many times your heart beats in 15 seconds, multiply that by 4, and that is your pulse. Cool. Now you know. Next up, inchworms, starting in 3, 2, 1, begin. To the floor, walk it forward, and walk it back. You can also do this from an assisted device in reverse, where you put your hands on the support, walk the feet back to a tall plank, and then come back up like so. Similarly, feet down. If you just want to spice it up, walk the feet back and stand up that way. One more time. And stand back up. Time with that exercise. Beautiful. Hey, you know what? That's the end of round number 2. We're going back to the top for a third set. Again, don't quit. If you're getting tired, just lower the intensity. That'll make it more optimal for fat burn. Anyway, my heart rate is about 130 right now. Right about 130 is where I start to have a hard time talking and also doing the workout at the same time. So for any recommendation, any frame of reference, that means that I'm probably nearing what's called fat max, where I'm burning the most fat by calories per a given intensity. And what I mean by that is the more intense you go with exercise, the more your body shifts towards carbohydrate burn instead of fat as the primary fuel source. Fascinating. It also means you don't have to break your butt doing exercise. You can do it easy, moderate intensity, and sustainable with this fun guy right here 4 times a week and still reach your goals. Awesome. Hit that follow button. Next up, going back to the top, starting with the floor touches in 3, 2, 1, begin. Push the butt back, stand up. If you want a little more difficulty, single leg into a couch cushion, stand up. We all love some good single leg work. Forces us to have good stability. Stability is in that box of other stuff that comes along with fitness, because it's not just about strength. It's not just about your aerobic endurance, and it's not just about your anaerobic capacity. It's also about having limber muscles. It's also about having good balance. Having the range of motion, yet stability to make sure you don't get injured. Time with the hinge exercise. So there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. It's really nice to just throw in those nice little things to kind of make it more fun as well. Stick around. We have a quote of the week as well regarding fitness. It's actually a little bit of a body positive quote, which we always appreciate. A lot of us need to hear to take care of ourselves because some of us are our worst critics. And of course, we have our little tidbit coming at you at the end of the day as well. Again, stick around for that one. We're almost done. Toe touch flies, starting in 3, 2, 1, Ready, begin. Touch the toe and fly. Touch the toe and fly. Alrighty, and I'm really working on getting some good range of motion here. Keep breathing through the course of the exercise. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time with that exercise. The bad news is I'm pretty sure I just saw somebody fly away on the other side of the screen. I hope you're back by the end for our tidbit. But if not, for those of us that are left that didn't manage to fly away with the flies, thank you. Good work. You didn't go too intense. If you go too intense, he'll lift off and fly away. So if you have any questions on that, just shoot in the chat there. I can answer them. So yeah. Next up, after the flies, we have our D2 PNF patterns. A D1 pattern is actually kiss the bicep, swap behind you. The D2 pattern is what we're doing. Pull the sword, press to the sky. Starting in 3, 2, 1, begin. Boom, and boom. Left over right, right over left. Fun fact, I had a bat fly into my room the other day. That was terrifying. Bats are about the size of your hand usually. Not this bad. There's no joke that goes along with this. I'm just saying there was a massive bat in my room. Caught it with a fishing net, released it outside. Good old nature-friendly guy right here. Keep it going, 10 more seconds. These are starting to burn with me. Again, pain is bad. A little bit of uncomfortability is not the end of the world. That's all right, especially with these arm exercises. Time with that exercise. And now we're going to stand up if you aren't already standing. We're going to go to a little jig, a little knee exercise. Get your water, kids. At this point, I hope you're feeling good. I hope you're feeling a little tired, because I know I am. But that's okay, because A, we're almost done, and B, that means that you are going to have a great workout that's going to give you more energy back later in the day. You're probably going to sleep like a baby tonight. Your cognitive functioning for the remainder of the day is probably going to be on point as a result. All going to be worth it. Do a little jig in 3, 2, 1, begin. Knee to elbow, knee to elbow. Get them up, push them forward. When you push the knee and elbow forward to touch, activates the core a little more, almost like doing a standing crunch without the shear forces that come along with doing a lying crunch. Fun fact of the day. Not shear, I misspoke, compressive. Fun fact of the day, other fun fact, your spinal vertebrae are kind of like jelly donuts. If you push on one side of a jelly donut, things start to squeeze out the other side. And that's how you get herniated discs. Time with that exercise. We are 5/6 of the way through this exercise routine. Stick around for the other 16.7%. We're almost done. We're almost done. Hang with me here. We have squats, push-ups, these guys, and inchworms left, and then we're done. You can hear my awesome tidbit. Remember to breathe. These videos will be especially powerful come winter. Yeah, I know you New York people. I know how snowy it gets up here. These are going to be perfect for you. You won't be able to drive to the gym. Squats starting in 3, 2, 1. Begin. Whatever depth feels comfortable for you. And now I'm going to go into some lateral squats because it's been a minute. Feels good for me. It's like you're sitting in a chair behind your left heel, sitting in a chair behind your right heel. Or if you're like me and have particularly low couches, then it works out. Then it's almost just like you're sitting on your couch anyway. Keep it going. 10 more seconds. And time with that exercise. Next up, we have our push-ups. Push-ups are great for making your chest feel nice and strong, allow you to defend yourself in hand-to-hand combat, or put together a really powerful clap at a baseball, football, sport ball stadium, or chorus concert, support the arts. Or if you just want a massive swollen chest and you're here for that like me, jokes, then feel free to join me in these push-ups. And if you can push your entire body weight up, you can push that follow button. Do it just because that was a good line. Starting in 3, 2, 1, begin. Let it be known that I as well get the Twitch notifications. And I also take the time to say, hey, it's a Twitch notification from CCHS. They're live right now. I'm going to think about my health habits. Think about one of the 7 pillars and really just check in with myself today to see how I am doing. Keep cranking them out. 13 seconds left. Nice and steady pace. Last time with push-ups for the day. 3, 2, 1, and time with the push-ups. They're out of here. They're gone. We have a minute and a half left of no equipment, body weight, full body, possibly anonymous exercise. Here for you. Again, completely instructive. We're here 4 times a week live to support you in your weight loss goals. If you're watching this on replay, awesome. Glad you're here. Glad you followed along if you've made it this far. We have our little tidbit coming soon. And I hope that you enjoy it because we're almost there. Again, anybody can do this. Gamers, anybody really. It's meant to be beginner friendly. Alternating shoulder flexion and extension. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Begin. Here we are. Center, pulse, pulse, center, pulse, pulse, center. Again, you can just alternate if you want, or you can put one arm, forearm on a knee. This center, pulse, pulse, center feels best for me. It's another tool in the tool belt to work the shoulders. 3, 2, 1, and time. We have one exercise left. Wow, I'm sweating up a storm. It is hot. It is humid. The electric is half working. There's a tropical storm outside. But you know what? I'm here. Connected Community Health Support is here. And hopefully you are here watching this on the other side of the screen as well. Slowly but surely and consistently reaching your health and fitness goals. 10 seconds until our last exercise. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inchworms. Begin. Walk it forward towards your screen. Hello. Walk it back and stand up. Walk it forward. Consider life for a minute. Walk it back. And it's also a great way, if you have a little bit of extra weight to lose, to work on getting to the floor. It can be difficult for a lot of people. And this is a good way to practice getting up from and down to the floor, from which we can do a lot of other great exercises as well. Last one. We're here. Almost done. 3, 2, 1, and time with that exercise. Yay! Great job, great job, great job. I was going to start talking, but we get to do a little bit of a cool down. Self-love. Pat yourself in the back. Try and breathe through your nose for our cool down. Why, you say? Because I said so. Because breathing through your nose activates your parasympathetic nervous system. Your parasympathetic nervous system is responsible for rest and digest. Typically, your diaphragm is innervated by your phrenic nerve connecting to your vagus nerve, and your vagus nerve is responsible for a lot of things in your body. It's not just sympathetic, it's also parasympathetic. It has innervations all over the body that we can use to lower our heart rate and prepare ourselves to face the remainder of the day in a less stressed state. Do yourself a favor, take a second, stretch out whatever you need. I always recommend that. I'm going to take a second, if you don't have anything you feel like you need to stretch, to show you a nice and simple calf stretch that you can do from anywhere. And that involves just a door, a wall, a couch. It's simple. We all know this one, right? You take your left foot down, you put it on the floor. I know it's far away and hard to see, but you can just listen to my instructions. You're pushing against the couch as if you're doing a push-up. You're taking your left heel, pushing it down to the floor, taking your right foot, putting it behind your left heel, and going forward until you feel a stretch with it. Coming up a little closer, I'll show you the same thing on the right side. We're here in the downward facing dog position. Move back, there we go. Again, right heel, right here. A little more. Right heel, right here is flat. Left heel over top, stretching it like so. If that doesn't feel good, you can also just do a good old-fashioned lay on your butt, grab your toes, and as you stretch your hammies, pull your toes towards you gently, and that will definitely get you a calf stretch along with some other stuff as well, like so. Cool, nice and simple, nice and easy. That's a quick little stretch for you at the end. And now we'll move on to the quote of the week, as well as the tidbit of the week. May I professionally recommend that if you're going to do a live stream at any time, that you use hair gel of some sort, or you'll end up like this. I had to just address the elephant in the room. I am sorry. And then the hair gets in your mouth. So we have our quote of the week. I like this one. This one was a quick find, which is nice, but also it's a very powerful find. So what we have right down here is our quote of the week. You've been criticizing yourself for years and it hasn't worked. Try approving of yourself and see what happens. So I made a joke earlier about self-imagery and, being positive towards yourself and how that's a part of the mindset as opposed to fitness pillar that we cover. And that's true. However, I think that it's never a bad time for someone to hear this. Be kind to yourself. Be conscious of your self-talk. A lot of people throughout the day say, "Oh, that was so stupid of me." Basically, don't talk to yourself in a way that you wouldn't accept somebody else talking to you. Okay? Through positive self-talk or reaffirming yourself in these different ways. If you say, "Man, I look terrible today," just neutralizing those thoughts. By saying something that's, it doesn't matter what I look like today because I'm going to love myself anyway. Or I am currently working on improving, whatever bad part about myself I may not like for any reason, right? So in other words, try approving of yourself for this week, for today, and see what happens. That's what that means to me. If you found anything different from it, anything you think might be helpful, feel free to give us a share at connectedchs.com on the community groups. It's in the top right portion of our beautiful little page there. On the more, it says community groups or our little lifestyle health quiz, which is kind of cool. I made that. You can feel free to check out our community groups there and give us your feedback on that quote if it resonated with you. And of course, before you go, I promised the helpful little tidbit for the week. And the helpful little tidbit for the week comes from the fitness pillar. All right. And the theme of the week we're going to pull regarding fitness is going to be how to cultivate your own exercise program, how to cultivate your own fitness habits, really, is what I'm saying. So the first one I'm going to say, our first little tidbit for the week is reasonable expectations. All right. What, Seth? That's not fitness. That's That's not any sort of activity at all. That's just telling me to be reasonable. Oh, well, let me tell you why it's so important, because a lot of people come in gung-ho, including myself. It's human nature, really, to say, I'm going to go hard an hour every single day up until this wedding 2 weeks from now, because I really got to tone down. And and really that I understand that, right? I understand that urge to do that, but really it's going to be a culmination of lifestyle health that allows us to sustainably lose weight. And what that looks like is something, not an hour a day necessarily, unless you can do that, but something that is definitely achievable for you. So if my goal is just to exercise every single day, it could be for 5 minutes, but you're cultivating that habit. And that habit is reasonable for you to find just 5 minutes in the day before you shower to do some squats, to do some push-ups. Maybe you find an hour or 45 minutes even 4 times a week to do some aerobic exercise with your favorite newfound streamers, and local businesses that are there to support and give back to your communities and help you in your weight loss journey. And they're pretty cool, and you should do it. That's us, in case you didn't get that memo. But again, moral of the story, to start, make sure you set reasonable goals for exercise. And along that same vein, if you like lifting weights, just be consistent and lift weights. If you like walking, consistently walk. If you find that there are certain physical activities like gardening or raking leaves that you enjoy, hell, rake your leaves and go ask your neighbors if you want them to rake their leaves, if you want to rake their leaves. Because you know what? Not only is that a great workout, it's also really, really great to build those connections in your community in that way. The most powerful thing you can do to encourage your happiness, and happiness encouraging physical activity and better nutritional habits, is to become connected, not only with not only with yourself, like I said, for positive self-talk, not only with your romantic partner, if you have one, not only with your close circle of family and friends, but also with your community too. So if you enjoy volunteering, it feels so good to give back to your community or volunteer just an hour, right? Even an hour a month, right? Again, reasonable expectations, doing something active. Well, that is a great way to both feel good, meet people, and encourage your physical activity. So I'm kind of pulling in a few separate topics right there. And I know later in the week, Jake and Adam will probably go on to talk more about, doing stuff that you enjoy or what you need to include, or progressive overload, or the facets of really how to create a fitness program. But for now, I just wanted to talk about the higher level stuff, the more general overview of cultivating your own fitness program. So moral of the story, make goals and make them reasonable for yourself. Really a smart goal with your fitness program. Specific, get out, do community work, active community work once a month. Measurable, it's measurable, the number of times you get out each month. Actionable, great. You walk right on down to XYZ in your local community. It's reasonable. 1 time a month is pretty reasonable. We can find an hour, and timely every single month. All right, something like that. That's just on the fly. Again, if you like what that was right there, I am one of the health coaches for Connected Community Health Support. We basically give that stuff away for the price, and we have reduced prices for anybody that still thinks that the cost is too expensive. Because why? Health and fitness should be accessible. That is right. And not only accessible, because a lot of people, might have access to it, but it should be practical. And through that practical lifestyle, practical health inclusions into your lifestyle, and working with you one-on-one, we can start to change the tide of the obesity epidemic, which really is a core tenet of what we are here for. And again, not for everybody, but for those that want to change their lives, those that want to lose weight, but currently are struggling because of the power and systems of our society that we currently live in. So with that all said, feel free to reach out to us at connectedchs30.com. You can find that contact information at down here, right there, connectedchs.com. We have all of our products, services, free streams, blogs with tons of information you can use to impress your friends. I write those with Jake and Adam ourselves. So it's all our verbiage, our wording, our positive frameworks on health that if you agree with, feel free to join our community groups as well and follow along with those. We'd appreciate it if you showed up next time. The best thing we can do is reach more people to tell your friends. And per usual, give us that follow, because the more people that follow us, the more people's lives we can change together. This is not just a one-way avenue. This is also asking for people in your communities to find us, to really share what we are doing, share what you are doing, and empower those to live healthier lives around you. Again, through kindness, through support, and through easy, actionable steps. Thank you so much for joining. Hope you had a wonderful weekend, and I hope you enjoyed this session. You can follow with, I think it's Jacob Carroll, either Jacob Carroll or Adam Fox tomorrow. That is Tuesday at noon Eastern time. Follow us on Twitch, and you can catch all of our replays, or on YouTube at Connected CHS. See you live tomorrow at noon. See you at the replays at the other times. If not, you wonderful humans, thank you so much, as always, and have a wonderful Monday afternoon. Seth Spicer from Connected Community Health Support.